was easy.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Oh, now I must defend Ethan Klein. It is one of the most difficult things I have to do. But in this case, you know, I think as much as it might pain Ethan to defend me on a fair use issue, I would suspect that he would. Maybe he wouldn't. But I do think deep down, he's got some levels of scruples. And, you know, I would hope that my record over the years of defending him when he's in the right would have some value, although maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But this is an interesting case where he basically is getting robbed of $620,000. And at least he admits in his own words that, like, you know, I don't have no idea how he got in this situation. Well, I guess I do now. But it turns out he uses an MCN. Now, I will be fair and explain why he does, because it does make sense. But for every other YouTube content creator on the planet, you do not need an MCN. They will tell you that you need them, but you do not. And I'm going to get into all that after a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Galaxy Lamps. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Galaxy Lamps, and their huge spring sale. If you've been around my channel for a while, you've known I've talked about Galaxy Lamps for some time, and they are absolutely awesome for creating vibe and atmosphere. They're controlled by an app, so you can create your own color combinations and sequences, control brightness, rotation speed, have on-off timers. You can bring the Galaxy to your home or right into your room. It'll brighten up a party, create a romantic and chill atmosphere, perfect for sleep or as a background. And Galaxy Lamps has an absolutely monstrous sale of 50% off plus an extra 20% off. Not one, not two, but 3 different deals. 50% off, an extra 20% off, and the most exciting one, a chance to be among the first 10 people to get the new limited edition projector worth almost $200 completely free before it even goes live on the website. 10 lucky purchasers will be picked randomly from all purchases during their spring and Easter sale. Make sure you use my link in the description below to save big. Pick your Galaxy projector up today and brighten up almost any room in your house. Now, as a YouTuber, if you make money on YouTube, you get a small percentage of the ads that run on YouTube. YouTube, I forget what the exact split is, it's like 50-50 or 70-30 or something, like 45-35 or something like that. So advertisers pay YouTube, Google really, to run ads. Then Google runs the ads on your videos and you get a small chunk of that. That's how YouTubers make their money. They also make their money via memberships, which are a Twitch Prime, a Twitch kind of thing where members can pay $5 a month, $10 a month to support their favorite creators or to get access to various other things. MCNs are a dinosaur of the old internet, where people who could not get monetized, like from the machinima days, video game days, people who could not get monetized, or YouTube just didn't allow them into the monetize, they could still earn money from their videos by joining with an MCN. An MCN is a secondary marketplace that also sells ads. Now they will, in my experience, many of them will lie to creators, even big creators. I get emails every day from people like BBTV, and including them, I've gotten emails from them, I'm almost certain, where they're like, hey, let us manage your money and you'll make even more than you're going to make on YouTube. Source, trust me, bro. But the reason Ethan Klein uses an MCN actually is reasonable. When you're a YouTuber, one of the dumbest rules with AdSense is, and that's how we get paid, is that you can only ever have one AdSense account. So I have this channel, for example, I have Community Notes that is a partnership with Sydney Watson. I also have this new project which launches this week, which is another partnership. And it creates a huge mess where I have to take all the money and then split it up around everywhere else, because Google won't let you have separate AdSense accounts, even if you're have separate corporations set up. It's really dumb. Also, for example, Sydney still gets paid in Australian dollars and cannot change that. So this is what happened to Ethan Klein. He was still getting paid because when he set it up, he was in Israel, and the money was going to an Israeli bank. It was getting paid in that currency or whatever the case is. So a workaround was to go with an MCN so they could pay him in USD back here in the country. So that's why he did it. I don't know if it was because he was getting demonetized too or whatever the case is. So he signs with an MCN, even though Lord knows he should have known better. Over the years, seemingly everything had been fine because the way the agreement was set up was that Ethan was going to get 100% of the ad revenue that his channel earned, and BBTV, this MCN, this middleman, was going to get a bigger chunk of any ad reads they might deliver. That's the new pitch they do, by the way. Again, if you're a creator, you do not need an MCN. Don't ever sign up for one, okay? I've said that a half dozen times now. Now, when they come to me, they say, oh, yeah, I mean, you're doing fine on Google AdSense. We want 10% of that or some percentage of that. But if you won't give us that, we'll get you ad reads from Nike and Honda, and they're going to pay you $10,000 an ad read. And this is additional ad reads that you wouldn't have gotten before. So this is how they suck in new people, because it's hard to get good ad reads. You know, I work hard. I have a full-time employee, and her entire job is, finding things for me to sell. And because, AdSense isn't what it used to be. What these MCNs will say is, hey, you're not getting these ads from Nike and from United Airlines, but we can get them for you. But we're going to take 30% of the deal, which is actually fine. Most creators like myself would agree to that. And so I actually got deep in conversations with BBTV about a year ago, where I had said, okay, let's work together. You bring me some ad reads. You can keep 30%. You can keep 40%. Bring me some ad reads. And you know what happened is, oh, sure, we'll do that. We'll do that. But we need you to connect your account. We need you to connect your AdSense account to ourselves, which I said, absolutely not, because I know once it's connected to you, I'll probably never get it back. And so the whole thing kind of reeked, and I didn't sign up with them. This is clearly the deal they offered Ethan, but Ethan was clearly using it so he could get out of the Israeli banks into the United States banks. The way the contract is read to him, by him, here's what they say. Ethan Klein was supposed to get 100% of every dollar he earned, both through Google ads as well as Google subscriptions. Now, it says Google subscriptions, but what this really means is memberships, okay? So YouTube, they're saying you get 100% of this, Google subscriptions. Well, it turns out over the past, I don't know how, I mean, come on, Ethan, you got to watch your wallet a little closer than this, bud. But over the past, I don't know how many months, he said, as far back as December 2020. So this dude didn't notice for 3 years, which is shocking to me, because if somebody was pulling 30% of my revenue off my paycheck, I would notice the very first month. But maybe I assume his checks are gigantic. Okay, this is what can tell. This is why he's earning so much money. He probably doesn't even notice, which is probably why they thought they could get away with it. So he wrote this email saying, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing you today, pressing matter, blah, blah, blah. I'm reviewing our financial records, and I've discovered a significant discrepancy in the sponsorship revenue that has been remitted to the H3 podcast. It appears that Broadband TV has been withholding 30% of the sponsorship money going back to as far as December 2020, possibly even earlier. The total amount withheld from us as far as our records allow us to track is $620,000. As you are well aware, our agreement with Broadband TV, which was established in 2017, clearly states that 100% of all revenue goes to the H3 podcast. The only exception to this would be the Broadband TV directly brought us a third-party sponsorship, in which case your company would receive a cut of that specific revenue. And I can say, as somebody who has negotiated with BBTV, this is the same offer I negotiated with them too. I said, you keep telling me that you're going to bring me all these premium AAA sponsorship deals. If you do that, I will give you 30% of it. Okay, but otherwise, why would I let you in my house at all, right? So this is clearly probably part of why he agreed to do it. It has become apparent that this understanding has not been respected. I'm deeply concerned. I'm currently assuming that this discrepancy is a result of an honest mistake, which we now know is not. That will need to escalate and will not need to escalate the situation further. However, I must stress urgency and the gravity of this matter. So he says, you stole $620,000 from me, bro, I need you to give me that money back because you're not entitled to that. And according to the contract, as far as I read it, they are not entitled to that either. On top of that, they essentially ghost him. When they finally do pick up a phone call, it's some underling who is saying, tough cookies. We're not going to give you your money back. So now the only solution Ethan Klein has is to fully demonetize his channels, create a new AdSense account from scratch, sever the relationship with BBTV. If you want to do the math, $600,000 is 30% of the revenue just from memberships over a couple of years from him. He's probably losing several $100,000 in this transition. This is a huge, again, I don't agree with Ethan's political takes. I think he, when people he disagrees with, I think he relies far too much on personal attacks. But this is pretty bad. This is a huge amount of money. Not only the $600K that they stole from him, but also potentially how much money he's now going to lose after having to willingly demonetize his entire channels, remonetize them at whatever point that happens. Who knows how long that will take. And then he's going to have to remarket to everybody to become a member again. Almost certainly those numbers will not be as high as they were. So I know a lot of people, Ethan's not going to get a lot of love from my viewers. I understand that, but principles matter. And this is a pretty brutal one. Hopefully he can get his money back. And just, if nothing else, please use this as a reminder. Do not join any MCNs under any circumstances. They had zero value. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.